Good afternoon. This is the Elliott Wave Daily Update for the S&P 500, being recorded on Thursday, August the 14th at 1:33 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Um, I'm just going to kind of follow through on what I presented on that intraday update, and that is that I had put the 3 and the 4 in place, and that's on the sub minuet level. And so we're inside that sub minuet wave 5. That'll complete then the sub minuet C wave and then the minuet B wave. And we're still looking for the S&P to get itself back above 6,500 and actually to start getting towards the call wall, which still, I believe, sits up there and will likely still sit up there tomorrow unless they've shifted again today. So we still have it at about in the ES at 65.21 as it was today. And so we have now marked if indeed we have this, and let me try to open this up. I'm going to take it down to the 15-minute chart. There, it's a lot cleaner, and open it up this way. And we can see that we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up after that nice fourth down. That was the PPI data, but the market actually took it all back. It rallied all back and went above, which kind of does not do much for that number because the number was real. And, it does show that inflation is beginning to put itself into place here. And for whatever the reasons are, we're going to leave that out there. But again, came up, I'm giving it a 1, 2, on the basis that I think because tomorrow's expiration and a way a lot of these stocks are kind of lining themselves up for expiration, I think we could have a solid move to the upside, which would get all of this done. We get up there, and I think we get a wave 3 done, and then we come back in. So at best, what I kind of think we have is a 1, 2, and then another 1, 2, and this could be coming down a little bit more. So we're going to have to just kind of wait and see how this all plays out because this actually did go above there, not by a lot, but just by a couple of ticks, and that was good enough to kind of keep it in a 1, 2, 1, 2 category. So we get a nice third going and a 4 and a 5, and then we're done with 3, a 4 and a 5, and we're done. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. But it's not, it's a little bit different over in the NASDAQ. And normally these two are running side by side in terms of what the structure is and what the counts are. So they are kind of, but then right in here, it's not. The NASDAQ didn't even come close to going back up and starting to move above. So it remains inside its wave two. And so if I had to say that, then I'd have to be putting it here. And again, a little bit of a irregular wave two. And so that would be an alternate that if this is A and that's a B, and it's kind of hard to count that way, but could, then we would get a C wave down. And the fact is that the C wave cannot go below 64.53. That would kind of nullify this whole pattern and put it into the other alternate that I have, that this is only wave A of 4, and this is wave B of 4, and now we're going to come down on wave C of 4, and that would be expected to go below that, and then I'd have to put up again the retracements for wave 4, excuse me. So let me just take a look at what those would look like again. So we've come down to almost the 50%. And so it would be still a wave 4, and it can't overlap 64.28. And so I really wouldn't want it much below that 50%, which it didn't almost reach. So we have that 50% at 64.44. 64.45, and that's kind of the limit for me if this thing turns and starts to come back down. But right now, they are deciding to buy it up, which is a little bit of a relief. But so I'm not going to leave that there. I'm going to take that back off, and we're going to see how this all comes in overnight. Now, spot gamma levels will be updated tomorrow morning, but like we were seeing in the Nasdaq or just in the Qs were flirting with the volatility trigger, and they've been doing it this whole hour after the close in New York. And so, but here it's a little bit different because it's not the same in the spiders. So if I go over and I just take a look real quick on those where the spider's volatility trigger is, it's at 642 and the market closed at 644. So yes, if we drop strongly, then it's going to go down and could likely trigger that. And that's also the put wall in the spiders. So we'll see what those come in tomorrow, but as it stands right now, that's where they are. Okay. So a lot to kind of be concerned about, but I am just going to let this play out and see what comes through overnight and then again for tomorrow morning. Now, also for tomorrow, we do have a fairly full roster of what's going to economic data coming out. We have U.S. retail sales. We have Empire State Manufacturing Survey. We have the Import Price Index, industrial production and capacity utilization, business inventories and consumer sentiment from 8:30 a.m., 9:15 a.m., and 10 a.m. Respectively. So there's a fair amount of data that's going to be presented, and the market will have to deal with that. And again, after with the PPI, we'll see what they want to do. Tomorrow's also the August expiration, and I think there could be a lot of activity back up to the upside. Particularly, I think in the Nasdaq stocks, I think they could start to do that. So we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. And that's about it for right now. Alternate accounts, yep, I kind of working some. And right now, it's a little bit difficult right in here. So I got to leave it as a 4 and hope this 1, 2, and 1, 2 last and hold. And then we get a little bit of some upside action. All right, next update will be tomorrow morning.